Imagine not being Leeds, not feeling this pain, not dancing through thunder, not walking through rain. Imagine not rising with fists in the air when the world turned its back and no one would care. We've lived in the ashes, we've drowned in defeat, but still we stand proud on our battered old feet. Imagine not loving with all that you are. Imagine not being Leeds.
We love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.
We do love you, Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Now then, folk. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Monday evening. Oh, feels like a long week this week. It's going to be for me. I've got some horrible jobs to do this week. But Brighton on Saturday, I'm actually going to, which is a bit of a mad one. Feels a bit mad to be going all that way for a league game. Yeah, travelling that way, it feels like a cup final. You could argue every Premier League game for Leeds at the minute should have that sort of feeling and that weight to it. 3 points on Friday were massive, absolutely massive. I can see there's a few of my Sunderland mates in here tonight, which is funny, but I love it, absolutely love it. Doing brilliant. Leeds are doing very good too, and Burnley are making a good fist of it, and also the newly promoted sides. If you saw my video I put out the other day, touching on all three of them, they are certainly sticking it to them. And I think combined, it's more than last season got in the entirety of last season, I think. So it's been a really good start by all three sides in their own right. So I'm over the moon with how we're doing. Doesn't take much to change that, does it? You know, looking at West Ham game, if Leeds lose that game, we really look like we're on ropes. But one good win like that, and it turns it all around again. And now we're going to Brighton, optimistic. Forest away, I'm fairly optimistic we can get something in that game as well. So all of a sudden, that one result against West Ham at Elland Road, and everything feels a little bit more rosy in our garden. So thank God we got that win, because I don't know how it'd have been and how I'd have felt if we hadn't. And when they pulled it back to 2-1, my ass were twitching, I won't lie. But thank God we held on, and we deserved it. If they'd have got a second goal and come out of there with a point, it'd have been an absolute travesty. It'd have been a crime, wouldn't it? To be honest, but I was made up with how the result went. The game we'll get into in a bit as well. I want to touch on West Ham game, give my thoughts on some personnel, etc. before we sort of move on. But yeah, let's have a look who's in the house. Top Banana, hey up, buddy. You managed to change your name back. I don't know why it's definitely changed people's names. There's loads of them. I know you're Ian Brown, John. How you doing, buddy? But for some reason, names are different. Hey up, Dave. Good evening, one and all. Hey up, buddy. Hope you're well. Tickle those likes on your way in for my cheers, mate. Appreciate that, pal. So I hope everyone's well. Hey up, Angela. Evening, everyone. Still on the high from Friday night, hoping we can take a point on Saturday. Yeah, a point would feel like a win down there, wouldn't it? It really would. Europe, here we fucking come, says John Parr. You doing it again, Sunderland? You doing it again? I remember when you were top last season. John, I know that's tongue-in-cheek. I hope it's tongue-in-cheek. It bloody should be. But you're doing bits. And you should be proud of the club top to bottom, because you're not just here to take part, that's for sure. And I applaud you on that, mate. It'll be a good positive chat tonight, I think. Yeah, it always is Top Banana in here. It always is. Even when I'm feeling down about results, even if we'd lost on Friday, you know, I touch on negatives, I speak about how I feel. But I always try and remain optimistic and see all sides. But yeah, there's no real negative to really touch on this one, you know. Do I see us winning on Saturday? No. Is it possible? Yeah. Sunderland going to Chelsea and winning 2-1 gives me optimism and hope that us newly promoted sides can go to, you know, sides away from home where we maybe shouldn't get results against. Brighton aren't as good as Chelsea. They're not. They haven't had a great start to the season by their own standards. Can we get at Brighton? I believe we can. So, positive-ish about Saturday. But Friday night, I were over the moon. Over the moon. It wouldn't have mattered how we won, would it? Top Banana. It didn't matter how we won. We just had to get 3 points. The fact that we played well is a massive side product, and that a big bonus that we can say we played well. You know, yeah, there's moments in game where we were hanging on to a degree, a little bit towards end. But still, if you want to touch on negatives, you can. You know, I come out of stadium with Priestley and he opens up Twitter like he does. I tend to stay away from Twitter but he opens up Twitter like he does previously, and there's just negative comments still. I honestly cannot believe how you can watch a game of football at the level we're at, which is newly promoted side, try to stay in the division, win the game of football, play well, and still have negatives. I find that bizarre. You've got to enjoy the moments where you win, enjoy those highs, because they are going to be few and far between. That's a fact. That's not even being negative. There will be few and far between. If you're going to be a cynic when things are going well, then fucking hell, what world are you living in? Not one I want to be in, that's for sure. Evening, Matty, mate. Hey up, Leeds, lad. Hope you're well. Archers, hey up, lads. Hey up. Hope you're good. Best intro 20 podcast. I thought you might be sick of hearing it now. Being told by a few in the game, it's a bit long. But yeah, hope you don't mind it still. Cheers for that, mate. A nice little Monday bonus. Not going to lie, Matty, my team are doing well, but Leeds might kick on now as well. Yeah, Brett. They are, and hopefully we are as well. But yeah, I appreciate that, mate. Be all stay in for Strauch. Yeah, I think so, mate. I think so. I didn't think Strauch had done much wrong, if I'm honest. He's been, I think the term scapegoat's a little bit too strong. I've used it in past, but I do think it's too strong. I think it's been easy when you look at us conceding goals to maybe angle your opinion to Strauch being the one to come out just because he's got the obvious replacement, the new shiny toy that everyone's had a keen interest to see if he is an upgrade on Strauch. He wants to be, needs to be really for money spent. And I was sceptical of that. But again, I'm a big Strauch fan, so there's always going to be a little bit of that with me. But BR thought were outstanding. I mean, and 100% I think he keeps his spot. The fact we're conceding, a couple of goals a game for 3 games in a row, I think something had to change. They changed 2 of the back 5, which I didn't mind at all. I thought Perry were outstanding, Emmett. I thought he were phenomenal. Made that double save at one point. We acted really well to the second effort. I thought he looked really calm, which I didn't expect. I thought he'd look a little bit shaky like he did in certain games. And then Beal in front of him. I think he got 93% pass accuracy. Had more passes than anybody in the side. And he just looked really solid. He looked like a leader. And having another leader in that side next to, another born leader in Rodon, it's a pretty good place to be. So, yeah, I would agree, mate, that Beal will stay now. And I think Farke does this a lot. I think Farke, he doesn't like change. He either gets forced into it by an injury or an illness, which we've sort of seen with Strauch and the Beal situation. We've seen it with Stack and Tanaka situation. But if you get that opportunity and you play well, you might find it then where you're on the opposite side of that and you're struggling, as a Strauch, as a Stack to maybe get minutes. I love rotation. I'm not too sure Farke's that bothered about rotation. We don't play many 2-game weeks, sorry. So I think it's fallen favourable for Beal that Strauch had a bit of an illness. But I do think it helped Farke out a little bit because he had a bit of an excuse to change it. But it needed changing, I think. And I think he grabbed his opportunity with both hands. And he's been unlucky because, let's be fair, if he hadn't got that suspension carried over from Italy, he'd have started against Everton. And I think it'd have been Strauch who'd been on bench and only played against Wednesday. It'd have been a total flip of personnel. So, Guten Bend, whatever that means, Richard Hogan, no idea. What time is kick-off next Saturday? I think it's 3 o'clock, mate, because I'm setting off at 6:30 in the morning with the Garforth Whites. The Leeds Lens is in. Hey up, buddy. Hope you're well, Scott. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Fulham defeat looks a bit of a sickener now. Fulham defeat, Bournemouth draw. There's a few in there, isn't there? But Burnley, again, points there you'd have banked on getting. But Brighton, Forest, I'd love to know people's thoughts as we go through this stream of what you'd be happy with. I've seen some people say they're happy with 1 point over these next 2 games. And I tell you what, I aren't going to disagree with that too much, I think there's an opportunity to get maybe a draw in each game or 3 points in one of them, which I think would be a great return. But I'm looking at this thinking, can we go down to Brighton and get a draw? And can we back that up with a winner for Forest? I think if we've got 4 points from these 2, 7 out of these 9, we're in dreamland. And that sort of eradicates, if we get 4 points in these next 2, that eradicates the Burnley result for me. Because where I banked on getting 3 at Burnley, I thought we'd lose at Brighton and I thought Forest might be tricky. But if we can eradicate that with 4 points on the next 2, which is definitely doable, then that Burnley result for me is done and dusted. We're not the only team with a poor record in London. Liverpool have lost the last 5 in the car. Is that right, Richard? Ours is horrible in London, though, isn't it? Leeds Lens, I think it's positive, actually, because it goes to show how poor West Ham are. But I actually feel it was our worst home performance of the season. I sort of agree in parts, yeah. My overriding emotion coming out of stadium at the end were relief. I was buzzing when we got 2-0 up. I think we did a very Farke sort of thing in the game, pal, where we eased off and we invited pressure onto ourselves. I don't mind it because you can control the game without the ball. You know, if you're well structured, you're well drilled out of possession. You can hold on to it. Game management in it. You can hold on, get your subs right, get your personnel right, get your shape right, and get behind the ball and make it very hard. You know, for the other team to create chances and ultimately score. And I think we did that, and I don't mind it. We've seen this season already, though. If we do it too early, we can concede. I feel like we did it at Fulham a little bit too early. Eased off. Eventually, they got the goal. I think against West Ham, we did it again. I think we eased off too early. I think bringing Gruev on, you could see a few changes. You could see it were going more defensively. We weren't pressing from the front. We weren't putting pressure on and invited that pressure onto ourselves, which I knew would happen 2-0 up. But I remember in the stadium thinking, I think we've got 10 minutes too early. I think we could have been a little bit, played our game for a little bit longer. I think it was about the 60th minute. I started feeling like, it's going to be a bit of an onslaught for the last half an hour because you could just see visibly that the players were getting 11 men behind the ball. They weren't, 10, and leaving Calvert-Lewin up front. But there wasn't the intensity, the pressure. I didn't feel like we looked like we were particularly going to go for that third goal. And that happens. A lot of us done it, Scott. We do that quite a lot. So I think if I'm honest, I thought the first 25 minutes, half an hour, I thought we were bloody brilliant and ruthless. Couple of chances, couple of goals. I enjoyed moments in the game. I would say it was definitely a moments game. The run by Ampadu, the run by Aronson. There were some brilliant moments within the game. But ultimately, the performance probably doesn't matter in this one, to be fair. We've had the performances and not the points. So I think the 3 points were the biggest thing, which we'll all agree with. But I think the performance was okay. We've definitely played better in other games. But yeah, I was quite happy with it all, to be honest. Is that you're on 11 points before 10 games now as well? Yeah, 11 points out of 9 with a chance to obviously increase that in a 10th game, mate. Brighton are only 1 point ahead of us. Yeah, they are, top banana. They are. Evening, Matty lad. Hey up, Mike. Hope you well, buddy. Since we beat the world champions, what's to say we can beat everyone else? Watched always Wolves fan TV. They are fucking fuming. Yeah, Wolves are in a right spot of bother. John, Ian, Wolves are relegated, mate. Wolves are going down. What I'll say from a Leeds point of view, because we've been very poor in January windows. Some would say we were poor in the summer window. I'd argue against that. I think we just missed out on that final piece or two. I think some of us players we've drafted in now, we can all say have been really, really good signings. The ones that are playing, that's for sure. I would look at Wolves, though. I would look at West Ham. I would look at Forest and think they'll spend in January. That's my only worry. I don't think you'll need to spend in January. I think you've got enough AFCONs and all that shit, which you wear all the time. But I think you'll have enough points to not really worry about it. Some people say you'll hit free fall at some point. I'm not too sure. And if you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. I'm not really bothered. But yeah, I don't think you'll beat everybody else. I don't think you'll finish in top 10. I think you'll have a bit of a drop off. But your drop off would have to be pretty vast to be looking over your shoulder for relegation, I think. So yeah, I think you'll be fine. Hey up, Martin. Hope you're well, buddy. West Yorkshire Retro Gamer. Hope you're good, buddy. How do you? Brighton notoriously poor at home against some of the poorer teams. Didn't beat any of the relegated three last season. It'll be tricky, but I'm optimistic. Yeah, I mean, when you go man for man, they've got some star quality out there, haven't they? I'm intrigued to see how Rutter does. I think we snuffed out Somerville quite well at the weekend. Rutter's a different animal. He does love us. He's got a bit of a soft spot. Hopefully that plays into our favour, but I don't think it will. But yeah, I mean, they're not doing well this season. I'm a little bit nervy, Scott, because Welbeck, it's just Welbeck. I feel like he scores every time he plays against Leeds. I feel like he scores in games when he's not even playing against Leeds. He's just everywhere. I always just see Welbeck, and he puts frighteners in me. I can't believe he's still playing for a side as good as Brighton, to be fair. He worries me, but man for man, they've got some talented players. But I do think they're not the Brighton that we've been used to seeing. And like I say, they didn't beat any of the three last season. Obviously, I don't know how much weight that holds this season. Bulk team will be similar, I guess, but it's what we do in it. I want us to go there and play our game. If it is for 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and then we ease off, if the game state allows that. But I don't want to go there and do like what we did at Fulham. I don't want to go there and sort of show a bit of respect and not play our game. I want us just to play our game, and hopefully if everyone can have a decentish performance, 7 and 8 out of 10s for the majority of that side, we'll be competitive, which we normally are. I think it'll be a tight game. I don't think it's going to be a lot of goals in it. He may be 1-0 either way, but yeah, I'm massively confident in games like this now, more than I ever have been, Scott, because of the set pieces. The fact that if it's a tight game and we're struggling in open play to create something, the fact that Joe Rodon looks lethal at attacking corners, the fact that Longstaff delivers that ball, 8 or 9 times out of 10 past his first man into a good area in box, that gives me confidence that these top sides, or not, I know they are a top side, but a decent side, an established Premier League side, if it's a tight game, we've got more weapons than as Arsenal that'll go get results. Where this would be a game I would have wrote off before the season. I would have been like, Brighton away, there's no chance. I look at it now with them not setting the world alight, the difference in our play now to what I've seen in the past, and I look at it and think, if we have the right mentality and Farke has the right sort of attitude, and we're going to give it a bit of a go, there's a massive chance that we can get something. Just got to up Goodmanson and Okafor. Yeah, I mean, Okafor, I think it was the right sub at half time. I haven't heard anything out of the club to say it was anything other than just a routine sort of sub, really. Take him out. He got us to, part of the reason we were 2 up. We know we're carrying an injury. Get him out, rest him up, bring a more defensive-minded player, and it made sense. Goodmanson, yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that. I'm looking forward to presser on Thursday to see what comes of that. I do think James Justin's a decent replacement, and he's just as good on left as he's on right. It will definitely affect us going forward, though, him not being a left footer. That balance, that natural balance you get from having a left footer on that left-hand side, he's going to have to always turn, and his body's always going to be slightly off. Having to turn back inside as well, it's not ideal, but he's a decent alternative. And I've seen a lot of people, myself too, saying, if we get through the season and we don't have any injuries, he wouldn't play many minutes. And then that 9 million, 10 million is a waste of money. This is proving that theory potentially wrong. Imagine if Goodmanson's out now, and I'm a big Sam Byram fan, but imagine if you only had Sam Byram coming out in Premier League on that left-hand side, it'd be brutal, wouldn't it? So yeah, I'm really happy we've got James Justin, because then this proves why. Because Gabby Goodmanson to Byram is some difference in level, I'd suggest. Goodmanson to Justin, it's still a drop off, but it should be from a starting player to a sub player. There should be a little bit of a difference in quality, but I don't think it's as much, and I don't think it'll be as noticed, to be honest. Useful 3 points that might hope our left side stays fit, because Gabby and Noah is an excellent combo so far. I 100% agree, 100%. Like I say, imagine now if it is a James Justin, who, like I said there, is a decent option. But imagine if it's a James Justin and a Harrison. That there's a totally different kettle of fish to a Gabby and a Noah in it. 100%. Hey up, Llewellyn. Hey, Matt, I hope you're doing well. Want the boys to be hard to beat and surprise a few at the weekend. Yeah, me too, mate. Hard to beat, I think we will be. I think that goes without saying. By that one game against Arsenal, we are hard to beat. Hopefully, that little bit of quality that I think we've shown on Friday night against West Ham, we've shown a little bit of quality. I hope we can play with no fear. I hope Brendan Aronson can play like Lionel Messi again. That'd be nice. Hopefully that's just not a one-time thing, because I ain't lying. If you got that from Brendan Aronson every week, yeah, we won't be talking about Nonto and James. And I'm not an Aronson lover at all. I'm certainly not a hater. I've been quite happy with his levels this season, and I don't really want to get too hard on Brendan in the games where he's not creative, because that ain't really his game, It's like having a go at me for not being able to run 100 meters in less than 15 seconds. Come on, look at the size of me. Got no chance. There's no point. There's no point moaning about something that he shouldn't be doing. He shouldn't be scoring and creating chances really to the level of that right winger that we want and need, because it's not his game. He's better off the ball than on the ball potentially. I tell you what, Friday were fucking unbelievable. They were unbelievable, and now the problem is, now we've seen what he can do. Can he just replicate it more and more? I mean, that run he went on in that second half, lads and lasses. Oh my God, that was some run. That was some run. I don't think he's got a great striking, technique when he strikes a ball. I think there's a lot of flaws to his game, but I tell you what, in possession, attack-wise on Friday, were the best I've ever seen him in a Leeds shirt by some distance. He was exciting. He was dynamic. He looked quick. The way he drops a shoulder and loosey-goosey and all that. He was class. I absolutely love Brendan's performance. He got me off my seat. it were unreal. If he can bring that on Friday, on Saturday, that'd be ideal too. Because Dan James is still going to take a while to get back into match sharpness. He's stepping up to Premier League, which we're all a bit like, can Dan James do it? I hope so, I think so, but can he do it when he's not 100% match sharp and fit? Probably not. So Brendan will definitely start this game for me based on merit anyway, but I would love to see Brendan a little bit more flamboyant like that. Sod it, let me have a go, let me run at that defence, because in the way we play, we're having three, I say defensive-minded midfielders, 3 DMs, whatever you want to call it, even though they've created shitloads of chances, it's mad. But you know what I mean? I feel like when you've got that sort of, your midfield set up like that, you need your wingers and fullbacks when they stand the man up to be able to beat him and get a ball in box for DCL. I don't think we can keep just getting to fullback, turning and passing inwards again. I think we need that sort of bit of risk where we try and beat us, man. It needs to be. It can't just be turn and pass back into midfield for me. It needs to be beat them down wing. That's how we should play. That's how we played in Championship. Get at your fullback and get balls in box. Are you showing that, Leah? John, if anyone's going to book the trend of getting 11 points in 10 games and go down, it would be Leeds United. But even if that stat wasn't a thing, the hard thing is Burnley put the shits up everyone. I think Burnley really, really affected the fan base. That is the one game, no matter what anybody says. And I've said this numerous times, I've had people come in my comments and say, why are you saying that about Burnley? They beat you. They're better than what you think. They're better than Leeds. They'll finish higher than Leeds. There's no easy games in Premier League. I get all that. But there is games as a fan, you look at and go, we'll win that. We should win that. And every single side, no matter who you are, every team in the Premier League will look at Burnley, or would have looked at Burnley prior to the season and gone, 6 points there, 4 at least. We will beat Burnley in that fixture. There's no fan from any side saying that. They might say it'll be tricky, it'll be tough, be hard to go to Turf Moor. I understand all that. But there aren't many people backing Burnley to beat their side this season before the ball's kicked. That's a fact. And they're on 10 points. They've done brilliant. Got to believe you can take a point in the majority of Prem teams in away games, or else why do you hope for promotion to the... Yeah, Brett. The Burnleys, the West Hams, the Brentfords, the Forest, the Wolves, they're the games you need to be targeting maximum points. They're the exciting ones as a fan, because you feel like you've got more chance of winning, no doubt. But they aren't notoriously sexy fixtures that I look forward to on calendar. The ones I look forward to are the ones we're probably going to get beaten. I went to Arsenal away when we got spanked 5-0. That was a very humbling defeat. I was excited for that, like you wouldn't believe, going to a big stadium. I've never been to Arsenal before. Decent stadium, top side, top players, Gyökeres on there, get to see how we were like, right. So I was excited to go as a Leeds fan and be like, right, this is why I'm a football fan. I want to watch my side who I live and breathe. Leeds United. I've lived 20 minutes from stadium all my life. It's everywhere I turn. I'm not, I'm blessed to be from Leeds. I love it, but I want to watch them play the best. I want to be involved in those games. Unfortunately for us, where we are right now, we're going to have the odd defeat, the odd spanking, I suppose. I want to put it that way. But stuff like Sunderland going to Chelsea, that gives us hope that it can happen, And I think this day and age with football, the way it's played now, look at Liverpool. I think you can have man for man. We talk about it not being played on paper. Some elements over the course of 38 games, I think the sides were the best team on paper. They're up the top. The cream rises to the top. But I do think if you're well coached, you're determined, you've got a group with loads of togetherness, which Farke touches on all the time. I think you can bridge that gap. I think you can bridge that gap from the quality being so vast to yours to them having a little bit of an off day, which happens, and you just being on it from minute one. You can bridge that gap for 90 minutes. Maybe not for 38 games, but for 90 minutes you can, Brett. And like I said, these are the games I'm excited for. Brighton away, I'm going to it. I'm excited for it. But the bigger games than that, the Chelseas, the Scum, the Liverpool, the Man Cities, the Arsenals, they're the games as a football fan, I want to watch my side playing. And I hope one day, we'll be going into these games without fans saying it's a free hit. Hopefully, we'll be on par with these teams one day. That's what I live in hope. I don't hope Leeds are a yo-yo team. I don't hope Leeds are in Championship. I don't hope Leeds are no better than 14th, 15th every year. I don't just want to be here and take part. I understand where we are right now as a club. Stay up, 17th will do. Establish yourself. Next season, 14th, 15th will do. But at some point in my lifetime, I want to see us achieve something. I want to see us win a trophy. I want to see us push up that table and be a big force again, because that's where I believe Leeds United should be, as will the Sunderland fans, yourself and stuff, But yeah, you've got to, mate, or you might as well not be in Premier League at all if you're not dreaming big, for me. What kit you wear on Saturday? Don't know, mate. I tend to wear my my merchandise, to be fair, mate. I tend to wear my merch shirts. So I might wear my my Ampadu top, mate. January will determine whether West Ham, Leeds, Burnley. Yeah, potentially, mate. I think Wolves are done. The business we do in January, if we do any, which I'm led to believe we are going to do. Listening to Jer earlier, had some meetings, had some meetings that came over. Did some of the shareholders had a bit of a chinwag about January, about where we are in season so far after 9 games. So that's positive to hear that the potential looking at people coming in January. I don't think we need massive business, really. I don't think we need loads doing it. Maybe a couple of players in, a couple of players out potentially as well. I don't see there being any point in Melia sticking around after January. Just get some funds if you can before his contract runs out. You might be a couple of million for him. There might be a few little bits to do in and out, but ultimately a creative player on that right who maybe can play in 10, and I'd be happy with that one, to be fair, as long as everyone else is, touch wood, still a bit fit. Disappointing not to. Yeah, disappointing not clean clean sheet. I weren't too fussed. I think Perry and Biol and Rodon especially will be fuming with that. It was a quality goal. Great little chipping by what's his face? What's his name now? Danny Dyer's fella. But yeah, I weren't too bothered, mate. I weren't too bothered at all, to be fair. They score a goal, don't they? And it happens. These things happen, mate. The fact that we got 3 points, clean sheet would have been nice. I've been saying for the last few weeks, a clean sheet would be nice after having a fair few games where we've been conceding 2 goals. But ultimately, 3 points in the bag, and we'll go on, don't we? We'll move on. Comments are flying in. Surely the management of Okafor's minutes is something we should be looking at. Nonto and James, as they start coming back, really like seeing Nonto and Okafor playing 45s or 63. Yeah, maybe, mate. I don't think you're going to see him playing 45, though. I was so surprised he took him off for 45 minutes. I really was. But I think that was just a bit of a uncharted territory, really, for Farke. I think he looked at him for play 45. Well, he probably played about an hour, but that first half ran over by like 13 minutes, didn't it? So he actually played like an hour anyway. So I think that's why I think he'd brought him off on 60 minutes. But the fact he'd played 30 minutes at the time, I think he had to make that move and take him off them. They'll be in the black kit on Saturday. I think we'll be. Yeah, maybe, mate. Gary Hoyle, believe Matty has Mackham. I think 7 points from the next 3 games will be comfortable for you, mate. 7 points. Maybe. I assume you're probably thinking Brighton draw, beat Forest, beat Villa at home. I mean, I think that's possible. If that happens, Gary, we're in dreamland. I'm not going to lie to you. But our next 3, I've just been looking at next 2. We've been in national break after that. But yeah, if you look at them next 3 before we start playing the bigger sides, I suppose. That'd be mint, but yeah, I think Villa at home and Forest away are the most likely games to get points in. Although Villa have turned the corner now on the 2, so there's no easy games in league, like I say. But we've definitely got a bit of a tough run coming up. So these next few games, it is vital we get another win or 2 if we can. Need to see more consistency from Aronson. We have seen that type of performance before from him. Not sure he can keep it going, but hoping to. But yeah, me too. I'm the same. I think we've seen him have decent games in possession with the ball in an attacking capacity. I'll be honest with you, I don't think we've seen him play that well ever. I think the Chelsea game stands out a few years ago when he scored that goal. But still, I don't think it was to that level. They were doing some crazy stuff out there on Friday night. But yeah, consistency with the ball would be ideal. We know what he does off the ball, and he does offer something. He definitely offers something. I just wasn't expecting it to be so good with the ball. Pretty good first half, second half. Okay, did enough in the end. Summed it up perfectly. Good night. Yeah, bang on, mate. Harvey, Sunderland fan here. Do you think you finish above us at the end of the season? Hopefully we both stay up. Do you know what it is, Harvey, right? I'm going to be a bit of a twat here. So before the season, I said we'd finish above you. I also said we'd finish above Scum. I still say that now, even though I know we won't. I'm going to be a bit of a twat here because I'm going to go, you don't finish in Europe. You just won't, in my opinion. We won't finish. We won't get relegated. So ultimately, come end of the season, we'll both have stayed up. And you can have your few extra million if you finish a little bit higher than us. And then we can go in summer again, do a bit more business. Then I can turn around and go, we'll finish higher than you this season. So I'm not too asked. What I'll say is, mate, it's still possible, of course it is. I'm not too asked. I hope you stay up. I hope we stay up. But as a bit of fun, I'll say, yeah, we'll finish above you. Because we've still got to play you twice. And I think we beat you both times. So, yeah. Took 4 points off you last season. Should have been 6 if his goalkeeper could catch a ball. You've done better business than us, potentially. More business than us. Some of your players are playing really well. They've gelled really well. I'm pleased for you. But I still back us over Sunderland. Now, if you were a City fan or a Chelsea fan, I'd probably say, not too sure. But it's Sunderland. You've come up with us. You're doing really good stuff now. Yeah, but I think 6 points isn't a lot of points, really, mate, to be honest. Not when you're in our boat. You know, it only takes us to win and draw next one and you lose a couple and all of a sudden we're pretty close again, aren't we? So we'll see. If you would have drawn that at weekend, it'd have only been 4 points, wouldn't it? Which you almost drawed it. If you'd have lost it, it'd have been 3, which I expected it to be. But you just keep churning them out. But I think it'll catch up with you eventually. But you keep going. You keep going. You keep doing you, Harvey. Because I'd be absolutely over the moon if I was that way you are right now. I'm not going to lie. And I'd be doing what you're doing. I'd probably be on other channels going, we're bloody brilliant. But nah. Yeah, I think we all stay up. Even Burnley now, I'm starting to think. Which is mad. Rodon's a new goal machine. Farke said he's been working out of him to get more goals. It's working. Yeah. I mean, I was surprised to hear it's one of his biggest achievements at Leeds is getting Rodon, scoring goals, which is a bit of a mad one for Farke to say, but goes to show how much he values him as a player, how much he thinks he's got to offer in that capacity going forward. And it's working. 100% it's working. He looks a threat. He scored for Wales. He scored 2 for Leeds. 3 goals already this season for club and country. He's in dreamland, is Rodon at the minute. And it's not taking away from his defensive capabilities, him having this little goal scoring run. He's looking brilliant and threatening in both boxes, which is music to my ears. And I think I did a video on it early. If you've not seen it, go watch it. After this, I did a video where I genuinely think Rodon is the best defender we've had since the O'Leary days. Genuinely, I think he's the best centre-half we've had at least for 20 years. And I don't even think that's a ridiculous thing to say. Who stands out? Pontus, Cooper, what captain? But again, levels. Like Rodon's way, way above what we've had since, the Ferdinand, the Woodgates, the Radabis. They're the last quality defenders I remember seeing. And Rodon's right up there for me. Right up there. Roger's left Celtic, has he, mate? Has he? Ooh. Brighton is the old people home. Brighton is the old people's home in Premier League with Welbeck and Milner. Yeah, true. Richard Hogan. West Ham probably need too many bodies in January to survive. Forest are different because they have enough ability. Yeah, I think Dyche will get best out of him. I mean, they beat Porto midweek, which is mental. I think Dyche could keep him up. I think Wolves go down. It's just so hard because you look at West Ham and you go, I've seen them play. They didn't play well. They were awful against Brentford on Monday night as well. I just cannot imagine Bowen. That's his name. I forgot Bowen earlier. Bowen. I can't imagine Bowen going down. I know it sounds ridiculous. I couldn't imagine Varuka and Smith and that getting relegated at one point, but that happened to us many moons ago. But yeah, ultimately I don't think it's us, which is great. Eddie, hey up my mate. Apparently the lower back of Gabbett is just bruised. Yeah, hopefully that's the case, mate. That'd be ideal. Take those likes for that. Only 11? Are you messing? How many have we got now? 26 likes. I am miles behind that chat. Yeah, 26 likes, 64 watching, which I really appreciate. Thanks so much for sharing your Monday night with me. Please smash me a like if you want already. I really appreciate it. You all night works at this point. Smash me a like. Help me out. And I appreciate it, mate. Whisper Gold, Picnic Twirl, or Star Bar will be a good point of the Amex. 3 points will be a bonus. Agree with that. Gold, Picnic, Twirl, Picnic, which is weird because that's about as much fruit as I like. I'm not a big raisins fan, but I love a picnic, to be fair. I've got a massive thing for Twixes at the minute. I need to stop it because I'm already got, my BMI is already too much. And I'm proper smashing in king-size Twixes at the minute. I mean, I can't even drive past the petrol station without thinking, they'll have a Twix in there. Genuinely, it's becoming a bit of a bad habit. So I shared that. Justin made sense. Why are you putting words like that? Efficient. We'll go efficient. Efficient on both sides. Think he got great close control, which helps him out when playing on the left. Yeah, 100%. It's probably the main reason we signed him for me. I think to go out there and get a fullback who can play both sides just made sense. The money weren't too much. He's got the Premier League experience. Buying a left-footed left back would be ideal, but I think in the position we're in, it made sense for someone like Justin to come in. Who the drop off from the left to the right isn't too bad, is it? So yeah, I agree with that. He has got great close control. He's athletic. I think his injuries have slowed him down a little bit. He's had some really bad injuries. I think if he'd injury free and never had those, ACLs and stuff he's had, I think it maybe not operating at a side bigger than Leeds, but in terms of England caps and stuff like that, I think he'd have gone on and done even bigger things. Because I really rated him. Really rated him all his career, to be fair. And I feel like we've been the beneficiary of his sort of career slowing down a little bit with these injuries. And I think, again, like we say about DCL, like we say about Okafor, if they can stay fit, the player is there, the talent is there, and you've got another great deal in there. If 9 million quid, if you can get a James Justin to be happy being back up to a Bogle and Gudmundsson, that ain't bad backup. And I agree with all that, pal. Whisper gold Seaside. Roger surely can't get another job in the Premier. He probably will, won't he? John McKinney, Siddiqui and Ronaldo will be a huge loss during AFCON, but we are looking at a right winger and possibly a DM. It's mental if you keep spending in January. Mental. But yeah, you will do, won't you? Let's be fair. It's a fair play to you. I can't knock you because your whole philosophy as a club's just been attack the transfer market and then attack the game, and that's what happens when you're brave. You make your own luck, and you've done that. Justin looked unreal Friday. I thought he was class, mate. I thought he was really good. Clem Fandango, the Medford Messi. Yeah, I love that saying. He didn't half look like that, mate. It was so good. Do you think you could be more potent in attack if more players committed to running off DCL? Yeah, Brett, I do. I think obviously we've been hamstrung a little bit, haven't we, with injuries? We really have, and I know everyone has injuries, but I feel like when newly promoted side and we know we're lacking a little bit of quality, lacking some depth in key areas, it is hard to sort of say too much wrong. DCL is winning flick-ons. We are getting to that second ball. I just think the quality's not been there in some games. The Burnley game, Aronson and Harrison. Yeah, obviously that's just one game, but in that instance, don't matter what DCL wins. I don't think in and around him, you haven't got the quality really to score those chances. I think DCL's been played really well. I do think if some players, when we get everyone fit, can you imagine a fit Dan James, a fit Willie Gnonto, Okafor, they will get closer to DCL. And I think once that sort of chemistry and synergy is built up with the starting or the favourable three starting up top, whoever they are, Aronson's probably up there now as a starter on that right, regardless of who comes in. I think he's probably got a few games still to not worry about his position. Okafor's obviously the left starter. I think if we can get some sort of cohesion where the front three are playing together week in, week out, I think that'll get better and better. I think DCL's playing really well. Hopefully he starts putting his chances away, but I'll caveat that and say the last two games he hasn't had anything to put away, so it's been a bit difficult for him. But as long as we're getting goals from elsewhere, DCL will keep being an important player, and it is up to everybody else to know when we go along, Brett. As a fan, I know he's going to win that ball. I know DCL is going to go on the end of that, so the players must know it. So it's up to them to gamble when he gets that flick on, gamble on that little bit of extra effort to go for it, not knowing if he's going to win it, but probably knowing he is. But you are right; it's a great little talking point. That. Do you think Metcher should get a chance instead of DCL? Is it a lack of service, or is he missing chances? Meaning Lucas should have a chance to see what he can do. No, mate. I like Metcher, but no, I don't think there's any issue with DCL at all. He hasn't missed any chances last couple of games. So for me, that sort of has gone away until he misses another one. I think everything he's doing it's right up there with best I've seen a centre forward doing a Leeds shirt for many years. If I'm honest, the way he's playing, as a fan, I honestly cannot ask for much more from DCL other than put the ball in the net when you get the opportunity. But it's been a couple of games now where that's not fallen to him. And I like Metcher, but he's a level below DCL for me. I think DCL's doing everything right. as a 9 for us. He's a proper number 9. I'm actually enjoying him as a fan, watching his movement off the ball. Obviously I go to games at Elland Road and get it out of the way when I'm going to Brighton. But when you're at the stadium, you watch a lot more. I watch a lot more off the ball as well. And his movement and his energy up top. It's unmatched in what I've seen to the eye test. Putting stats in bin for now. Just watching the way he conducts himself on the pitch. Very vocal. He's a leader again on there. I'm so happy with what I'm seeing from DCL. In my opinion, he's undroppable at the minute. I still believe we get 10 wins and 10 draws this season. Yeah, 10 draws sounds low, doesn't it? But yeah, potentially it could be a couple of draws coming up in next 2 games. I'm sort of looking at that, thinking I hope we can get a win out of one of them at least. But I wouldn't be too shocked with them being away as well. I always sort of away. I was erring on side of caution and thinking maybe a draw. But yeah, potentially, mate. 10 wins, 10 draws will do us, mate. We'll stay up on that. Buddy. 40 points, and we're done. If Leeds hasn't frittered away daft points, they'd be top 6 by now. Yeah, Roger, we would. Can't dwell on it too much. These things happen. I think some games it could have been avoided. A couple of individual errors have led to that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm more annoyed about the Burnley game, even though that was just a straight fair 2-0 loss. But I'm more annoyed than Tanaka giving a free kick away against Bournemouth or Goodmanson scoring a free goal against Fulham. The Burnley one really annoys me because, a little bit of unluck, switching off odd time in the game, it can happen. You don't want to be doing it at this level because you will get punished. It can happen. But getting beat 2-0 and having all stats in your favour against Burnley, that was unforgivable for me. Unforgivable, strong, but that was more disappointing for me than the couple of freak moments or the couple of moments. The game against Burnley wasn't a moment; it was a full game where we battered them and lost 2-0, which is mad. A very convincing performance, but a very convincing result. 2-0, no question. The one game fair and square. That annoys me more than the moments we've conceded in some of these games. But yeah, we have lost some points we should have had. Should be on 3 or 4 points more than we are, but we're not, and we moved, don't we? At least we're competing. Yeah, 4 less. Yeah, it's important to lose against big teams to improve on past experiences, which is what Regis Labrie says, and he's right. Yeah. Angela, what did you think about Somerville getting booed when he got the ball? I couldn't boo him. He looked afraid to get stuck in. I loved how Aronson tapped the badge when he scored. Yeah, he did. I don't know. I didn't hear many boos. And then there was a period, I think the period of time, that second half, I think when he got a bit booed and then he got booed when he walked off. I think I was vlogging. I think I went boo and laughed at the same time. But yeah, there was no animosity from me. It was a great play for us that season. Towards the back end, people said he down tools. I never really agreed with that, to be fair. I never did. I don't think that was a thing. People disagree with that. Didn't bother me at all. And yeah, I were happy to see him come back. And I think we snuffed him out. I think the occasion might have been a bit much for him. He couldn't get going for me. We doubled up on him. We made it very difficult, and ultimately he got subbed off as part of that. So yeah, it is what it is. You're always gonna have sections, aren't you? You do it even if there's no bad blood at all. You'll do it just because he's the next player. And if you can get in someone's head, it's going to benefit your team. But yeah, it is what it is. We're still going to finish 10th or 11th. Says Top Banana. You've said that all season. Yeah. No, that's fair, mate. Matty, what did you think dictated Penny and Beale starting? I reckon a touch of. I think the fact we conceded 2 in three games straight, 2 in each game. I think the Strauch one helped with the illness. It definitely had a bit of a bearing on it. I think he's probably been a little bit stressed about it, if I'm honest, these last few weeks, thinking it's going to come to a point where he's got to make that call. I do think if he'd have played the same team as Burnley and would have got beat, there'd have been uproar because you could see what needed changing. Darlow wasn't particularly needed for me, taking Darlow out for Perry. I just think it made sense when you're conceding 2 goals. It made sense to change something a little bit drastic at back, and changing 2 out of 5 is quite a big change. I wasn't too sure if he would change the goalkeeper, if he's changing one of the centre halves, but he did, and it worked out well. I thought Penny looked really good. But yeah, I think the illness and maybe a little bit of peer pressure. I think the fact that they spent money, a lot of money there sat on bench. If they can't get inside, and we're moaning about having being a player like here and a player like there, and then you've got 30 million sat on your bench. It doesn't look good, does it? But ultimately, you've got to pick the best side, and if that is Darlow and if that is Strauch, that's on manager. And he'd back that up to game week 8, and then he changed it for game week 9, and it worked. Farke got it right on this one. Should he done it a week earlier? People said he should have done. We'll never know if that had worked, if it had been a different result. But he did it against West Ham, and we got the win. So brilliant. 4th season is when we should be going after smashing it at the top of the league. So you think 3 seasons in, and then be looking at the top end? I'd love that, mate. It'd be nice. Brendan Rodgers just resigned as Celtic manager. This could be the year of hearts. It could be. Be nice, wouldn't it? Might are you still beating scum on your daily shorts? No, I've toned it down, Roger. I've not said no, mate. They've won 3 on bounce, and that guy's 2 games from cutting his hair. I've not said out for a few weeks now. They've come back for me. I just don't read comments, mate. I don't mind it. But as soon as I lose next, then I'll be on them. But yeah, when they beat Liverpool and we lost to Burnley, this is pretty bad, mate. I can't say out about scum right now. So I left it. Martin O'Neill is at Celtic. Temporary. Oh, has that happened already? Love Martin O'Neill. Brendan Aronson stopping behind for extra training. It didn't do Frank Lampard and Ronaldo any harm. He's been stopping behind. Or you're saying he should? That's brilliant if he's been doing that. To be honest, didn't think Okafor was that good on Friday. You don't. Definitely not 100% fit. 100%, like that's fact. He definitely weren't fully fit. Still, he almost scored a header. He was massively involved in first goal. He wasn't getting the ball and driving at the defence like he normally does. I think we got it right though. He had to start. We had to try and have some attacking impetus at home. And ultimately, part of the first goal, he comes off uninjured, and hopefully he'll be fully fit and flying for Brighton. But he's definitely his most exciting player on the ball, Ian, 100%. But yeah, I don't think he was brilliant on Friday. I think there were definitely a lot more players that stood out. I thought Tanaka were brilliant, Ampadu were brilliant. Longstaff, that first half, that midfield three, unplayable. That midfield three, that first half was as good as any midfield three's performance in the Premier League. That first 45 minutes were outstanding. Faded in second half a little bit. Tanaka weren't at it in the second half. I actually wanted Stack to come on, which they brought Gruev on instead to shore things up. Again, a little bit earlier than I would have liked that sub. But again, we get through the game. Okafor comes off early. Stack doesn't have to come on, because I think if we'd have needed a goal, later in the game, you'd have brought him on for his height and stuff like that, and his ball playing capabilities. But he gets another week to rest those ribs and rest that finger, if that's the thing. Evening, Matt. Evening, Richard. Hope you're well, buddy. Is there 3 clubs that are worse than we are so far? Would have to say yes. So that means we stay. I'm saying, if we lost to West Ham, we wouldn't have been saying that, would we? After Burnley result, we were saying our front 3, but worst front 3 in the league for that game. It was. I think when we've got us fit front 3, Okafor, DCL, and maybe a James or an Onto, I don't think that's the worst front 3 in the league. I think a squad is definitely better than at least 3 teams, but I don't think it's better than 7, 8, 9 teams, in my opinion. I know Topman Arnie think we'll get 10th or 11th. I hope to God you're right. But I think we can stay up with a couple of places spare and a few games spare as well. They look the likely ones now, mate. But Richard, they will all spend in January. Sadiki and Xhaka have covered first and second most distance in Prem, and people say Xhaka's legs will go. Yeah, people did say Xhaka's legs will go. Fair play. I'm surprised at that. Because I would have thought our players would be up there as well. Would you believe it if I said Sean Longstaff? I'm right in thinking the most, behind Bruno, you've got Longstaff and Stack are the most creative sort of midfielders in the league. They've created the most chance. I think Longstaff's created the most big chance in the league at 5. Mental. But yeah, we're all doing bits. And we shouldn't be doing bits, because we're a newly promoted side. We should be getting relegated. We're all going down. We cannot bridge the gap. It's a good title, that, isn't it? Bridging the gap for me and Wayne on Tuesday. Bridging the gap. Gap has been bridged. Let's be clear, there's a gulf between Wales and the top European side. Ben White, one of the best since O'Leary days. 100%, mate. 100%. I'm still picking Rodon over Ben White, though, if you give me an option. And people say that's wild. Ben White's £40 million player, whatever. I'm still picking Rodon over Ben White. Yeah, every day and twice on a Sunday. But yeah, he was one of the best we'd seen, wasn't he? The best for years up to that point. Do you hear Brendan Rodgers has quit? Yeah, Ellie. Yeah, a few people are saying on here. Is that now everyone worried now that a team's going to sack the manager to bring Brendan Rodgers in? Let him do it. Don't matter, does it? Just in 5 mil aside, left and right, goodbye. Love that. That's what it's about. Always got to back yourself no matter who you play. Got to have a little delusion, even though I don't think we get Europe. The way we played against Chelsea was very impressive. 100% Harvey. I love that. I'll have a couple of fruity ciders on way to Brighton, and I'll probably say my prediction will be like 2-0 Leeds, which is just ridiculous going to Brighton for Leeds. But yeah, I love it as well. I love it. I never tip a loss, even if I think we're going to lose. I just can't do it. A little bit of optimism, a little bit of delusion, sprinkled with a little bit of hope. Is part and parcel of being a football fan, mate. And I absolutely love that. And I'd be exactly the same as you. I'd be on here saying, dust off your passport, Leeds fans. We're doing Europe. I'm probably only one win from saying we beat Brighton. I'll be saying that anyway, you know, and we're not even on points you're in anyway, pal. So I get it. Colin, evening, Matty, mate. Hope you're well. Hey up, Colin. I'm good, mate. Hope you're good, mate. Who's that new 20-year-old centre back? Plays for Brighton, Bournemouth, or Brentford. He's been a better prospect than that. I'm not sure, mate. Not sure. So at the start of the season, that Forest will be in the relegation battle, be improved, right? So, yeah. I can't remember who I said top banana. I think I said same, but I did a predictions, didn't I? I think where Bucky said everyone would finish before the season started, and where I thought they'd finish. And I think in the next international break after 10 games, I think I'm going to revisit that and have a look at what I said and see where they are. I think I said we finish above Scum, which now looks laughable, but you've got to hope, haven't you? Matty, could you imagine the stick Pirro would be getting if he played and scored one goal at DCL? Yeah, you know what it is though, Colin? I know you're a big Pirro fan, but the stick would be maybe justified in terms of he wouldn't be doing everything DCL's doing as well. So if Pirro's playing, Pirro has to be scoring for me. He has to be scoring because he isn't doing all the other stuff, because he can't do the other stuff, Colin. He can't bring the ball out the air and make it land on his toe, flick a header onto, you know, a winger running past him. He can't do that. So if he's on the pitch and he's only got 1 in 7, 1 in 8, whatever DCL's got, that would look bad on Pirro because he's in there to get goals. DCL, we can all sit here and say he's a striker, he should be getting goals. Of course he should. He's not only in there to get goals. No matter what, that isn't what the club are solely wanting from DCL. If Pirro's in there, that's all they want from Pirro. Pirro's only on that pitch to score goals for me. Yeah, he can drop in pocket and do a link-up play now and again to an okay level. Sometimes he's been brilliant at it, but it's not his game. His game is in and around the box, scoring goals. So if he had 1 in 7, 1 in 8, it would look more damning on Pirro, in my opinion, Colin, than what it does on DCL, because he offers so much more. And that's not what people want to hear. DCL needs to be getting 10 goals this season for me to be deemed a good signing. But right now, he's doing enough. And that's even harsh. I don't really want to put a figure on it, because if he doesn't score 10, that can buy me an arse saying that. But I'm loving what he's doing. I don't think he's had a bad game in a league shirt DCL. Not for 1 second do I think he's had a bad performance. Bar Chef Wednesday when they were all shouting cup. So yeah, that's the only thing I'd sort of say on that. I agree, he would be getting stick, but he wouldn't be offering as much off the ball. Gary says, swings in roundabouts, Matty. Hope can happen. You can never get too much comfortable in the Premier League, mate. There's always a door slamming fit. Yeah, he can turn like that. A couple of injuries, a couple of fixtures. You know, I think in Championship, there were never many fixtures as a Leeds fan to worry about. You know, we had a Sunderland, a Sheffield United. We had certain sides where you look at and go, whoa, it's a tasty one, that. It's a tough one this week. But there weren't many. In the Premier League, you know, we both hit in a run, aren't we, in November, December, where it's like, you know, you City, you Liverpool, you Chelsea, you Liverpool, your Arsenal, and you're like, oh, my word, out, you know, 3-4 games in a row here that are just brutal. You know, even if you have a Bournemouth, a Brighton, you know, it doesn't take much to look at. Everyone plays everyone twice. It's fair and all that, but depending on how your fixtures land, you can't have to be shown, you know, shit end at stick at times, and that's just where I want to be as a football fan. I want to see him play that level, but it doesn't take much for a decent run to turn into a bad run, depending on fixtures. Like 100%, mate. I honestly thought you would get beat at Chelsea. Everybody did. You can go there and think we've got a chance. You go 1-0 down after, 4 minutes with Garnacho? Game over at that point in my eyes. How are you coming back from that? The talk will have always been, I know Wayne talking, keep it tight, don't concede early. Concede early, it could be a long day. Concede early, guess what? You still win game. Mental. Perry, Justine, Goodmanson, Bornau, Beal, Harrison, Okafor, Stark, Longstaff, Metro. Naming all squad here, pal. Calvert-Lewin versus Darlow, Bogle, Byron, Road on Stroud, James. Which 11 is better? Oh, man. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go first one. I'm gonna go second one, just because it's got Road on in it. That's a toughie, that, mate. Come on. There are no really outstanding teams in the Premier at the moment. Arsenal look the best at the moment, but apart from them, there's nobody there to scare me. That's proper optimistic, because if the thought of going to Man City isn't, it shouldn't scare. It's not going to scare you, is it? It's not us playing. Like, it'd scare me going to City on last day of season, like the Brentford scenario. You've got to win to stay up. That'd be scary. But going to play City shouldn't scare us. It should excite us as fans. But like, I think it's wrong to sort of look at it and go, there's only Arsenal who we can't beat. Do you get what I mean? I think that's a little bit off. I think there's several teams that, you know, we probably shouldn't beat. We can be competitive and probably still get beat. I honestly, if I'm honest, I don't think we go to Anfield and get a point. I think we lose. I think we go to Chelsea and I think we lose. I think we go to City. I think we lose. I think we can maybe get a couple of points or a win, some draws off of some of the bigger sides, the top sides in the division at Elland Road. I'm not nervy of any of them coming. I think we could beat them at Elland Road. I think away from home, I just don't see us going to any of those sides and doing what Sunderland did. Just my opinion. I hope to God I'm wrong. Yeah, I'll never forget that moment in COVID in the living room. Dallas scores from Alioski's pass at City and we win game with after Cooper getting sent off. Unbelievable moments. I would love that to happen. I'm just not confident in away from home being able to, I went to Arsenal and that scared me. Sat there at half time, 2-0 down, going, I hope we lose this 2-0, because I just didn't foresee how we come back in game, and that were awful. And that scarred me for this season, for the games away from home against the side, the European top sides. That does worry me. Tottenham away, stuff like that, it does worry me. At home, I think we give anyone a game. But I hope my confidence grows as the season goes on and I can be optimistic going into those games, mate. I really do. Campbell looks like he could be a proper captain in the future. He looks decent. Well, he's a proper captain now, John. He's a proper captain now. He's as captain now. He's an absolute monster in there. He needs to do what he did on Friday a little bit more and back himself with the ball to drive and go through the lines with the ball. That run he did, he hasn't got a shot on him. That's always going to let him down. It's not in his game. We've got quite a few players who it's not in the game. Aronson being one of them, I'd say as well. But he's got the capabilities to be able to drive with the ball, and we saw that on Friday, and I loved it. But he's already his captain. He's already one of the first names on team sheet, and I'm so happy we signed him for 7-8 million quid from Chelsea. Great business. A bruised back, I think, mate. A bruised back. Hopefully that's all it is. Probably left 4 or 5 points behind this season. However, we have played a good few games away from home. Record at Elland Road has been good and needs to continue. Yeah, Richard, 100%. Say we can be more on those few points. We did this last season, didn't we? So we did this last season with Meslier. We were totting up the points that Meslier had thrown away. Every team, right, that's dropped points this season, there's been an error leading up to that goal. I know ours have seemed a little bit over the top, a little bit mad. The Goodmanson own goal, freak own goal, happens 1 time out of 100, done it. 99 more times, he chests it, keeper catches it, or it goes past him, or whatever, it don't go to a goal. The Bournemouth one, a late equaliser there. These things are going to happen. But we did this last season, totting up, Melier's dropped us 12 points, we should be on whatever. It happens. Every team who's dropped points, there's been a reason for it. An individual error or a team's been better. There'll be teams there going, if Sunderland fans will imagine if we'd just beat Burnley away from home. That game we should have beat Burnley. Imagine what we'd be on now. We'd be on 20 points. It's one of them. Everybody does it. But ultimately, 11 points after 9 games, it's a bloody brilliant start. Yeah, he's got a sprint coach, hasn't he? A lot of them do. which Farke said in his press of the week. He don't mind it. You know, they've got a lot of money and they spend it on what they want, and the fact they're spending it on extra coaching, outside football sort of play, but like into his fitness and his recovery, it's great. I agree, Lee. I agree. In an interview, Brendan said he's being stopping behind, working on his weakness is great. Music to my ears, that Roger. Music to my ears. Got it. Hoyle, Dyche may steady the ship at Forest, but another wobble. Marinakis will kick off again. Would love to be a fly on the wall. Oh mate, honestly, I think Dyche will chin him. I think Dyche will actually chin him, which is mad. Yeah, I actually can't believe I can't believe he's agreed to go to job, but it's probably the best job in game, isn't it? Bar Leeds, of course. You take the job. I heard it. You know, if it's true, Postecoglou took the job, didn't he? Got sacked after 50 days or whatever. He had a 3-year contract, gets paid £7 million. Madness. So you'd be definitely to set the job, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'll sign a 3-year deal at £2 million, £3 million a year. Sack me. Done. Thank you very much. See you later. It's not. It sounds wild to take the job, but it's not really. 63 watching, 38 likes. Cheers, buddy. Cheers, Roger. Appreciate that, mate. 70 watching now, 46 likes. If you haven't liked it, please stick a like on it. It's free of charge, and I really appreciate it. If you don't mind, thank you. Fuck all the pundits, all the creators who had us going down. It was only Neville who said we'd stay up. You must love him, Matty. No, I don't love him. I like pundits saying good stuff about Leeds United, but it is Gary Neville. It is what it is. Enjoyed this, Matty. Got to jump now. Enjoy the rest of the show. Cheers, Scott. Take care, buddy. I'll see you on another one, I'm sure. Have a good week, pal. Thank you, mate. I'll take it. I would have had him, Colin. I would have had him. I'm not too arsed now. Like I say, I'm not even thinking about managers at all now, other than Farke. Keep up the great work, Matty. Got to catch you at Somerset. Ellie, take care, my love. Hope you're doing well, and yeah, get a good sleep. A good thing about us beating Chelsea is that us predicting a draw or a win against the likes of City and Liverpool is actually realistic crazy. I say that's a confidence you get, though, Ian. That's a confidence you've got now as a club. You've gone to Chelsea and won after being 1-0 down. You know the amount of the chance you've got as an opponent team going to a side like that, it's slim. When you go 1-0 down, I mean, I'm not a betting man, but I'm sure bookies odds will have been heavily in their favour. You go a goal down, it's unthinkable you'll come back and win. And you did. So the confidence you've got, you shouldn't fear anybody. I mean, since Ballard scores that header and you're in Championship in semi-final, I think it was semi-final. Since then, it's just been that, hasn't it? Oh, but Burnley, slightly than you've had nothing bad. It's literally been just good news, good performance, good result, week after week after week for the last 6 months. It's been brilliant for you. It's going to stop at some point. Otherwise, if it doesn't stop at some point, Ian, you've won fucking league, haven't you? You know, if it carries on like this, you've won league and you're going to beat Champions League next season. So at some point, it's going to drop off because that's not feasible in my eyes. It's not feasible. But you definitely, I'd be the same as you. I wouldn't be bothered at all about who we play. Matty, are you going down to Brighton? Yeah, Roger. Then I'm back in there. The wife's coming as well. So I'll be doing a vlog. The missus is coming. I managed to get 2 tickets, managed to get a babysitter. So we're going to take our Theo, although he'd got a car seat going on coach that far. But I said to Missy, Van's coming. Bit of a mad one taking her on a away day, but yeah. So Gareth White, set off at 6:30 in the morning. I think there's a pub stop off. I think we're stopping Crawley, I think. I might be wrong with that. Probably well wrong with that. Yeah, well wrong with that, I think. We stopped somewhere anyway. An hour or so outside. Might even be longer, but we stopped somewhere. Out for a couple of hours, then back on. And then back home, yeah. So I wouldn't envisage I'd be home before midnight. It'll be a long one, but not driving. Couple of drinks, day with missus, bit of football. The usual crew when I do go away from home. A lot of them aren't going working, and it being a long distance, can't go whatever. Couple of people I know, but the coaches, it's a decent crack at Gareth White's. A really good group, so yeah, it'll be decent. We're champions Europe with champions. Hey up, Shane. Hope you're well, buddy. So, Matty, what do we spend in January? Who do we get? We do not want rejects, so I might have to look on the loan market. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We need a winger, a right winger, potentially stroke 10. If Aronson continues the form of Friday, we won't. But yeah, a right winger, stroke 10. And who? I didn't want Harry Wilson, but he's had a good start to the season, which means he probably won't be available. But probably means I would have him. But again, I don't know, mate. I'm not a scout. I don't watch. Boss Nass who does late night Leeds with us on a Friday. He watches a lot of football. He watches all the Italian stuff, a lot of stuff from around Europe. Adam's same. A lot of people who are in here watch all sorts of football. From going to games to watching Leeds games to doing content to having family to having work. I aren't lucky enough to watch every game that's on TV. So outside Leeds and the big Premier League games, I'll be honest with you, I don't watch much. A lot of it's reading up on articles to find out about players and match reports and match it day, really. A lot of highlights. So when it comes to players who are maybe linked with players I fancy, Leeds looking at, I'd have to really dig and dive. And until the rumours start coming out, I tend to just sort of, if the club are interested in, like Pajau, I didn't have a clue Pajau was, but the club were interested. We knew the club were interested. So then you go all out on your research. You start looking at it, you start getting excited by it. And all of a sudden you're convinced that player is the player that you want, although I don't actually know anything about him. But I'm very much, if Leeds are linked with him and Farke likes him and it's coming from reputable sources that we definitely want that player, then whoever that player is, I'm fully behind Richard. But I wish I had more ball knowledge. Scott from Leeds Lens, he's a great channel. Same, he knows a lot about players from other sides, from other countries. I just don't. So unless we're linked with them, I won't do my digging. Tickle those likes for our Matty helps the channel. All Leeds that way, top banana, thanks. It really does, mate. DCL was brought for more than goals. He's older player and give us a chance to reset when we are under the cosh. 100%. I think 10 goals is very fair expectation. I think it's a fair expectation. I don't think he's played every game, has he? He come in 2 or 3 games into the season. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He came in after Arsenal, so I bet he's got 1 in 6, maybe 1 in 6. If he continues on that, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, he's going to end up with 6 or 7 goals. That's without him getting injured, which, touch wood again, is it likely? I'm not too sure. But yeah, 10 goals would be a decent return for someone that's going to get, I would assume, to get some assists or some pre-assists as well. He'll definitely be part of the build-up to a lot of his goals with his hold-up play and his flick-ons and stuff from long ball. So I think he brings so much more. I aren't 100% sure at this moment, though, he'll actually get 10 goals, if I'm honest. But that would be what I'd be wanting from him, ideally. Shane, Matty, mate, tell my wife to bring me to Leeds this weekend just to even watch the game in the pub. Only game I'm missing so far. Oh, really, Shane? Do you usually get to away games as well? Yeah. If you're watching Mrs., listen to him. Do as he says. Leeds is his life. Oh, God. Love it. Love it. It was brilliant playing on Friday night, wasn't it? Brilliant. Awful if you lose, but it set weekend up so mint. Set weekend up so good. I do find it hard to believe Pirro has become the forgotten man. I still have faith in him. Honestly, Roger, yeah, played in the right position, in the right system, he'd score goals in Premier League. I don't look at Pirro and go, he can't score because level's too good. Play a 4-2-2, 4-4-2, a 4-4-2, play a 3-5-2, get him in and around the DCL. I think he scores goals. I just don't think they'll do that because we've got the wingers when fit and they'll want to play with that width. You'd have to play that certain formation. I'm not too sure they do it. Or you play a 4-4-2, which never gets played anymore, and you drop in one of your central midfielders for a Pirro. So I just think it's just the times that sort of like he's a 2 up top kind of player for me, and that's not what people play these days. He was all right in Championship. He did well. I reckon I'd have scored 10 goals at striking for Leeds in Premier League. And look at me. And that's no slight on Pirro. He played up front for a side who was scoring goals at will, and he's an absolute assassin in front of goal. In the Premier League, I don't think he's good enough to play a lone striker, which I'm sure you agree with. And it is a massive shame. And I hope somehow this season he has a role to play, because to be top goal scorer, to come up, to really, if you're Pirro, you're looking at Metcher thinking, I'm better than Metcher. Or, it's not like we've brought in Lewandowski, is it? If you're Pirro, you're looking at Metcher thinking, yeah, I understand is that, he can hold ball up, but I back myself. He'll probably look at DCL and think same. So it is a shame for him, but it's just where he's at. Strange things happen. We beat Liverpool at Anfield last time we played there. I still got, yeah, I know we did, Eddie. It's just how I feel at the moment, mate. At minute, I don't see us going there and getting a result. You can have the best team in the world, but nothing beats team spirit. I agree. You bridge that gap, mate, with all that stuff, 100%. Pirro was our top scorer for the last 2 seasons. It's embarrassing how some Leeds fans have abandoned him. His goals got us here. Farke has no loyalty but demands it. I can't stand the guy. I like that line, not that I can't stand the guy. The Farke shows no loyalty. I don't think it's no loyalty. I understand what you mean when it comes to Farke and Pirro. That I can see how you can look at that and think he hasn't been loyal to Pirro. And he demands loyalty, as in he should keep his job, etc. I sort of understand where you're coming from with that. I think it's a bit strong, though, PSF, I won't lie. I think you've got to look at the bigger picture. If Pirro was playing as the lone striker right now, you're probably saying we've got more points, he scored more goals than DCLs. He may have scored more goals than DCL, but I think we've conceded more. I think we saw at Arsenal, and that's such a shitty game to bring up because it's Arsenal. But I just think not being able to go long to a DCL, in my opinion, mate, I'm just a fat lad who works on building sites, who's on here chatting about Leeds. I have no inside ball. You could fucking be a professor of football for all I know, PSF, and I'm fucking not at all. But the fact you're here shows you obviously, enjoy something that I do. But my opinion of that is we would concede more goals. Having Pirro up top, we wouldn't be able to go long. We'd be playing out from the back a lot more. We'd lose the ball higher up. Attacks would break down a lot more than what they do with DCL, ultimately leading to a position where Pirro's not getting in those positions to put the ball in the back of the net. In another world, in another dimension, in another formation, under another manager, it could be totally different because in the Premier League, in the right system, Pirro would score goals. But for Leeds United, it ain't going to happen for me. I hope so, mate. Don't like Strauch after that last minute. I bet you don't, John. I never said Arsenal were the only team we can't beat. I was saying that's there's no outstanding teams in the league if there were the top 6 would. Right, okay. Yeah, I took that wrong way. Yeah, I get that, mate. Lol. Not like a good squad test question, mate. Yeah, too right. What you went with the 11 with Road on, basically it was all the 11 who didn't play for Leeds last season. Ah, look at you. Smart bugger. Yeah, it got me thinking. I was like, ooh, I'll go with that one. No, yeah, it would have toss up. City's coming Liverpool away, we could get something, but Chelsea, Spurs away, not sure. Brentford away will be an interesting game. Is that because it's London? We can beat anyone on the day. What with a bit of luck, the refs can do this. Liverpool, Man City, etc. Who are they? I hope you're right. They're the games we want to be winning, but it's not season defining as well if we don't. Yeah, over 50 likes now. Cheers, Roger, for banging that drum. I really appreciate that, buddy. Thanks so much. Also, be nice to have a positive goal difference. Could be, but yeah, it could be, mate. The goal difference needs a bit of improvement, doesn't it? I think so, Colin. I think so. Top man, everyone's saying it will be massively hard in December, but we do have the easiest last 2 months of the season. Yeah, I mean, you've got to play everyone twice, haven't you? There'll be fixtures that together look shocking, and then hopefully further down the line you'll have a decent run. Final 10 games look winnable. Yeah, they do. It is a decent last 10. Sunderland throwing beach balls on the pitch for Liverpool at home. Mrs. Imagine Not Being Leeds, Foster. Keeping you company, good idea, because Brighton is a long distance away. Yeah, it is. But she always fancy doing a away day with me. And I had an opportunity to do this one, so and a few lads who normally go weren't going, so I only know a few people, so it made sense. Perfect away day for Matty and the wife. Nah, I don't want Wilson, like I say. If the club want him, I'll back it. I'm not too sure it happens anywhere. Going to be full of lone players. Richard, I'm not bothered who they are, just some bodies would be nice. Me too, mate, I would. Yeah, it will do. I only watch Leeds, also the odd 2-minute highlights of Halifax, and I live here and was born here. Yeah, quality, mate. I remember, ever watch rugby? Halifax Blue Sox, remember them? Halifax Panthers now, aren't they? I'm still sticking to my prediction that DCL gets no more than 5 goals in the league for us. Jamie, I can't disagree with that a minute, can I? Because he's not pulling up no trees in front of goal. But yeah, if he gets 10 goals, it'd be brilliant. It would. Anywhere in and around 10, I'll be happy. But you just got to hope when he gets his chances, he starts being clinical. But he hasn't had any for a while, has he? Watch a lot of football, as can't get out of the house that much. Yeah, sorry, wear that, Paul. When we both stay up our players' values with will skyrocket compared to if we went down, especially when Sunderland finishes in year. Love that. Pirro needs to play as a second striker. Yeah, Richard, we know this, don't we, man? 100%, I agree. What's your and the fan base's feeling on meeting up with James Milner? And I must say, not absolutely not, mate. He will get cheered every touch of ball, Will Milner. He could even score and he won't get booed. Yeah. I think we always sort of hoped he'd come back to Leeds. There's still a chance. Surely he's got to retire at some point, though, but he's just a machine. Yeah, no animosity at all for him, mate. That's a fact. Pirro hasn't been given a chance, unlike Farke. Yeah, well, he hasn't been given a chance, PSF. I agree. He'd been given a couple of games and then brought out, but like I said, I personally I can see why he's not playing. And I actually think if DCL got injured, you'd be even more pissed off PSF because I think he'd go Metchard over Pirro, which I'm assuming would really piss you off. But yeah, I just think it's just watching the games and watching how we now play, which is working because we're on 11 points after 9 games. I don't think it suits Pirro. For me, he hasn't been playing much off the bench because we've been doing well this season. If we're a goal behind in every game we've played this season, he's come on in every game. You know, if we're 1-0 down at 80th minute, he's come on every game this season. But we haven't been. You know, we've been leading some games, we've been drawing some games, we've been making defensive changes, bringing on midfielders, changing wingers to freshen things up. Not really bringing on a Pirro unless we need a goal, and then he chucks all strikers on. So Pirro's role till January at least. If he decides to move on, we'll see. I hope he doesn't. But until January will be, he's only coming on if we're desperate for a goal. And we're not always desperate for that goal. Worked in Brighton for 6 months and the travel every other Saturday and Monday was horrible. Yeah, it's some distance, isn't it? Some distance. 30 quid for match day ticket, which is sound. 45 quid each for the coach. Fucking lot. It's a lot for coaching it, but I'd rather pay that than drive it. We really don't know if Pirro is good enough in the Prem. Look at Isidore at Sunderland. Pirro needs a run of games to show what he can do this team. Yeah, I agree, but I think Isidore's more physical. Isidore's bigger. He can hold the ball up more. Do you know what I mean? I think Isidore can play up front on his own. He can. He's a physical presence. He's quick in getting behind. He can link up play. He's physical. He's a lot more physical than Pirro. Pirro's a bit of a luxury player in and around box. I think they're two different players, you know. Isidore can play up front of his own. At this level, he's proving it. I don't know, Pirro's not getting the opportunity, but I just think it looks so obvious that he can't do it on his own, up front, at this level. My opinion. But I did back him to get about 10 goals and start most of the games this season. But now I've seen an I wouldn't have said this before season. Like I say, my ball knowledge isn't. Shouldn't say it on my YouTube channel, but it's not what, you know, I'm not a philosopher. I'm no fucking Lockie. I'm no Andrea. But like now I've seen what DCL brings to the system, to the side. I think it's way better than what Pirro brings. If I hadn't seen that, then I probably wouldn't be saying this. Yeah, you have heard it, mate. Joe does a lone watch on the daily segment. It's not beyond the realms of possibility Joseph and Geldart come back. I'd be surprised, mate. I'd be surprised. Geldart's doing some good stuff in it. That was mad when they were the Blue Sox Rugby League club. Lol. Nice little ground this year. Yeah, I've been to share a few times as a Rhinos fan, mate. I have. Fax Panthers now. Halifax Blue Sox. Remember Jamie Bloom. Remember Bloom? He was a good player. And Carl Harrison, I think. I'm going back some years now. I'm showing my age. Thoughts on Harry Wilson? Having a good season. Technically good. Is he a player I want? Or, in my opinion, no. I don't think he's the winger that takes a man on. Yeah, he's not my ideal winger. If Leeds want him, I'm happy with him, Richard. But he's not what I'd be going for. But then again, I've got no alternatives, mate, at the minute off the top of my head. So not worse than a 7-8 hour ride home with nothing in the bank. Yeah, exactly. But it's a day away from kids, which is nice because me and Alas don't get many days away from kids. So I take it, mate. Thoughts on Harvey Elliott for Leeds? I'd have him. Yeah, no booze at all. I'd be happy if DCL only got another 6 as long as it's a hat-trick home and away against Scum. Go on, Eddie, lad. Rodon to get 6 goals this season, top bloke. Yeah, it might end up with more than DCL at this rate, Richard. Do you think we sell Melly and Pirro in January to fund the right winger? I wouldn't rule it out. Pal. I think it's staring us in face. We're going to have to get rid of a few. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if Pirro doesn't get any minutes from now till January or continues the sort of vague minutes he's getting now, you'd think he'd be banging out door. Could you imagine someone like a Coventry or a Middlesbrough in that top two come January, bringing in a Pirro just to nail promotion? But I hope not, because then ultimately, if we want to sell Pirro, we'd have to go get another. Meslier is the only one you can sell and not have to bring anyone else in, right? You know, we've got the keepers there. You sell Pirro, you've got to go bring another body in. You know, how much are you going to have to spend for that for him to be better than Pirro? Yeah, they are capped at 30 quid now, aren't they, mate? Yeah, they are. Cost me 65 quid for a coach to Chelsea. What a bunch of greedy bastards we are. That must be why the tickets are so cheap. Yeah, maybe 65 quid. It's mad, isn't it? Some distance though for you guys, isn't it? I think Kelly Hanley played at Fax in the 90s. Did he? No, he played there. This season means everything with the Elland Road plans in place. If we don't stay up, we don't get better. Yeah, 100%, mate. Loved the Rhinos team for like a decade ago. Quality players, yeah, unreal, mate. Give me some right moments as a Rhinos fan. It did plenty of trips to Scum, but plenty of wins. Scum's not actually a bad visiting place for me. Make sure I get a ticket, my mate Danny, for Leeds v Scum. I think I've only seen him lose there once. I've seen him Leeds win there about 5 times, so might be a good omen. Yeah, we'll be able to. Isidore has the attributes to play in the Prem. He's tall, rapid, physical, and clinical. Feel like Pirro, you will know more than me, but he hasn't quite got. Yeah, exactly. I think they're just totally just different players. Yeah, both very good in the Championship, but Pirro were good enough to play up top on his own because he was playing for the side with quality, you know, and we play to his strengths. We don't play that way no more. We play a different way. We play a different formation for starters, and he is just going to be on when needed to get the goals as and when we need them. But like I say, it's not something that happens every game. My old neighbour played for Halifax when they were Blue Sox. His name was actually Michael Jackson. Is that a joke? Or is that real? It's funny. That is funny. Richard Woodthorpe, let's get Matty to 4K subs for Christmas. Would be great. Been watching him grow from day one. I know you have, Richard. I would love that, mate. I'll tell you what. It's been hard 5 or 6 weeks on YouTube. We started picking up again now. More people are seeing videos and stuff, and more views. But I've actually lost 2 subscribers since being live, Richard. This is what YouTube does. 2 people have watched me tonight and gone, sod off. I think PSF might be one of them. This is what happens. Sometimes you go live and you come off and you get a couple of subs. Sometimes you go live, you come off and you've lost a couple. I'm not too bothered on the subs. What I will say is, without sort of going into it, but a lot of people value subscribers, but there's a lot of people that have subscriber numbers that aren't actual proper numbers. There's ways around it, if you get what I mean. And I'm proper authentic. Every single subscriber I have is a person, if you get what I'm saying, reading between the lines. And yeah, that's the way I like to be. So my main thing is I would like as many people who watch me, who are subscribed to me, to watch me. That's more of a thing than subscribers. If I never get to 4,000 subscribers, but you know, the majority of the 3,000 odd watch me, which doesn't happen because I think a lot of people don't get told about it and stuff like that. Some people definitely do. There's ways and means of getting that number bigger without it being an actual person, because there's massive opportunities if you've got more subscribers for sponsorships and stuff like that. But then it doesn't mean, you know, you look at some channels and they can have loads of subscribers. I always look at views and think, you know, how am I getting 20% of my subscribers watching and stuff like that? So yeah, as nice as it is, mate, it's not the be all and end all. I love coming in here, Richard, and the fact that you've been with me since day one and you're commenting on and you're always there, I fucking love that. Whether I have 4K, mate, or never get past 4K, I'll always say like, subscribe, and I'll always promote it and stuff and want people to subscribe. But ultimately, 3,700 people subscribed, and I get 57 people watching me now at 11:30 on a Monday. That's fucking brilliant, that. If 57 people come and knocked on my door and stood in my garden and said, talk to me about football, it'd be pretty mad, wouldn't it? It's pretty mad that. I do a video, I get 300 or 400 views, 300 or 400 people come in my garden, you know. I'm having to kick 200 out because they're not going to fit for starters, but it's pretty good, innit? So yeah, as nice as it is to see numbers going up, they've definitely slowed down with everything that's happened. Or they have for me anyway, doing it the authentic way. But I just love it. I just love this interaction. I love community I've got, man. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Isidore adapts a lot better in the Prem Championship. Yeah, he's playing. He looks better in Prem than he did in Championship. There's a back end in him, mate. How much is Pido on the books? 5 to 8 million by now. Yeah, he will be, Paul Water. He will be. Need to sell someone with good PSR profit to fund the move for Rafinha in Jan. I'd hit John if I were working, but just struggling. Yeah, mate, don't worry about it, pal. Don't worry about it. Enjoy, mate. It's absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine. Appreciate he's been in, mate. Some pay but don't watch. Others watch, don't pay. Yeah, no, that's fine. And about I'm not about anyone in specific. I just know these people who do that. That's all. It's just a known thing. So I'm not going to name no names. I've got 400 TikTok followers from Senegal and 300 from India. You have, mate. Yeah, you have. Like I said, there's just ways of doing it. There's just literally ways of doing it. John MC, don't hang your hat on Europe, Sunderland. I've always lifted us to drop us. Like, yeah, I got it. It's very possible, mate, that it turns at some point, but it's all about getting the points while you can. I've seen channels with 1 million subscribers, but that's what I mean, Roger. You know, and you look at the Leeds scene, and you know, it just is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've got 3,500, say, or pushing 4,000, but I always say, can I hit maybe 20-25% in views to my subscribers? And it doesn't always happen. You know, sometimes I do a video gets 300, so I've only hit 10%. 90% of people who are subscribed are watching. It just happens. Something like my vlog did over 2,000. You know, I was really happy with that. You know, 60% or 65% had watched it or whatever. It's just how it happens. But there's a lot of reasons for it. You know, notifications not triggering and people being busy and people not being asked in that bit of content. So it happens. But yeah, like I say, subscribers are nice. I was very fixated on it earlier. Anybody who tells you, there's a lot of people who are nice guy who go, yeah, I'm not bothered. It's about you guys. It's not about the numbers. And it certainly is about you guys. But it is also a little bit about the numbers. Anyone who says that is ridiculous. You always want to see, if you're trying to lose weight, you want to see the scale going down. If you want to improve in life and you wanted to get more, you know, more money in the bank, you want to see number go up. On this, you want to see number go up. It's just like alternate. You're always moving goalposts. I have to get so hung up on, you know, wanting to grow and wanting numbers to go up and that. And I'm at a point now where if it never does, I'm happy because I've got enough people that warrant seeing me, which is mental as it is. But yeah, the platform kit gets bots to get fake numbers. I prefer real folk on my channel, even if only a few. Yeah, no, I know. My mate Sean at Wilco White's, he used to be called Wilco's Whites. He won't mind me saying this. He had a lad at work who said something similar. He says, "Oh, I've got a way of getting you more subscribers." When he first had Wilco's Whites, and he had 100 and some subs, I think it was, and he thought his mate were actually getting him genuine subscribers. He didn't really understand it, but his mate had this way of doing it. Let me have your account now. And he woke up in the morning and he had like 500 subs. Morning were buzzing. Then he realised all of a sudden there weren't actual people. They were still getting only 100 views for his video, and it were all they just weren't real. You know, they were bots or whatever. So he deleted it and started Wilco Whites because he didn't feel right having a number that he knew weren't his. It wasn't like a credible feel for him. So he changed it from Wilco's Whites, deleted it, and come back as Wilco Whites for that reason. Boss Nass description of 4 hours work, people skipping forward after 5 seconds, disheartening. Yeah, big time, Roger. He's having a bit of a rethink at minute of what he's going to do, 100%. But I love Boss Nass and his content's class. Top Banana, I like the channel because there isn't too many people in the chat. Imagine 1,000 in your chat. You'd never get through the chat as you do now. Love it. All leads that way. Cheers, Top Banana, 100%. I mean, before YouTube did its YouTube things, we'd got this channel to a point where it were hitting 100 to 50 most nights, which I was buzzing with. And obviously now you can see 57. And when that algorithm sort of thing happened 5 or 6 weeks ago, it was a bit of a kicking knackers. You know, I'd gone from every live stream were over 100 to seeing it halved. But that was everyone, you know, George, everyone's sort of half. But now I'm back on that thing when I'm like, right, I'm back now, you know, 50, 60 odd on a live stream. It's a manageable number. I love the community I've got here. The bigger it gets, the harder it is to keep it like this, like you say. So, yeah, I'm sort of just hit a bit of a reset a minute. And whatever happens, as long as the regulars are in, as long as we're having these discussions and we're enjoying it and it's a nice space for everyone, even opposition fans who are in here, and it's not booting off. And I get the odd comment come through where it's, you know, people are surprised who come in who are new, how the sort of space feels. That means more than 4,000, 5,000, whatever. It's never going to be a job. It's never going to be other than a hobby. I accepted that from day one. I actually thought I wouldn't still be here at this point. Never stuck it out this long, really. So yeah, you just started a lot later than the others, but this channel is one of the best, if not the best. Biased because you like me and I see you at most games, Eddie. And I say this to you all the time, but yeah, thank you. I know you're a massive fan of the channel, mate. There is something in that as well. I wish I'd have started this in COVID. I started watching everybody in COVID. Joe. I started watching everybody. I remember, what's his name? Him that does vlogs, match day vlogs. LUFC Lewis doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and stuff like that. These quiz games with them all, quiz shows with them all. I remember watching all them in COVID. I wish I'd have started then, to be fair. Because all I did was watch them. They got me through my depression and all that as well. They got me through it all. And I never had confidence to do this then. Put it in sense that would rather have 1,000 diehard Leeds fans or 100,000 neutrals in the stadium. Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it, innit? Bang on money there, pal. Bang on money. I can confirm I'm not a bot. Beep, beep. Love that, Paul Smith. That's class. I keep hearing people buy subscribers. It's a very contentious subject. Yeah, Roger, I don't understand how you do it. But like I say, that example I give you there of Wilco White, I just know that's happened. And obviously, people speak in space. People have thoughts of why people do this and if they've done this and that. No one will ever really know. But I know it goes on, even outside Leeds space. I know it's a thing. But like I say, I wouldn't have a clue how to do it. And I wouldn't want to or even have the money to do it. So it's not something I'd be doing anyway. You aren't still here. You have AI filing in. I started streaming on Facebook originally as a video game streamer, but then made my YouTube channel to also include Leeds content. I enjoy doing both. That's it. Got to enjoy it, haven't you? West Yorkshire retro gaming. Got to enjoy it. Have no sort of reason for it other than just the enjoyment. And it's just sort of give me a new lease of life. It really has. I couldn't imagine my life without it now. Absolutely love it. Do you know what it is, Top Banana? If you're sticking out, so I'm going to say this now, right? Hope everyone's not too asked about this. So you all know I've done some songs. I like singing. I can sing. I can hold a tune. But I've explained before, I love writing songs. But it's so much easier for me to put them through the AI as opposed to me going to a studio and singing it. There's a song that I can actually sing. But again, I haven't got the funds or the means to go to record in the studio, so I've put it through AI. But I've got a new song for you tonight, Top Banana, but it's not a Leeds song. So I wasn't sure if I'd share it. I've uploaded it to my computer. It hasn't even got a name yet, but it's a song. It's quite an emotional song, actually. It's going to go well away from football, but I might play it at the end of the show. It's about my dad. So yeah, I might play it at the end of the show. Let me know if you want to hear it. It's a bit of an emotional one. My dad left when I was 5 and my little brother was nearly 2, and I didn't see him from being like 5 or 6 to being like 28, 29. I was in my life. I've got 2 half sisters, a stepmom as well, and everything's all right now. I don't see him all the time, but he's in my life. But yeah, I didn't see him for like till I was nearly 30 years of age, and it's like a song that I wrote for him, sort of telling him, I missed him. It wasn't right. But I understand and we're good now. And it's let me know if you want to hear it anyway. It's obviously not to do with Leeds United, but I thought I'd test the room and I'd see, and I might play it out. We'll play it back end of the show tonight just to see how you felt about it. Well, anyway, Eddie, I'm not biased. You're a Leeds lad. You go to the games and the channel is a mixture of everything. And most of all, it's good banter. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. That's something I'm very proud of, is the fact, and it's not the be all and end all, and don't take this the wrong way, but I go to games. Not everyone can afford games. Not everyone can get the tickets because it's a fucking nightmare. And not everyone lives close to the stadium. People live in other countries. I get that. But I do think it makes me different. I do, I'm off the top of my head. I know Jack City goes to every home game. I know Leeds Paul Philippi gets to everyone. I know the bigger ones don't. Jersey and Ireland, he probably would if he lived where I live. But I know watch-alongs and all that. A lot of them don't go to games for that reason. It's the job and they need the watch-alongs. But for me, I go to the games, and that's got to mean something. When you want to listen to someone talk about Leeds, that's got to mean something. And for me, that's a box that I tick. you know, I work hard. I don't have loads of money. You know, I don't have loads of money. I've got a family. I feel guilty spending money on myself, but that's my time. That's my little bit of you know, escape from reality. And I go to the games and I have a different perspective than a lot of these people that watch on TV, you know. Some of you in chat will go to games, some of you won't, some of you can't, some of you, it just is what it is. We all have different reasons. We all, you know, whatever, but it definitely is something a box that I tick. I do match vlogs for every game I go to, another box that I tick, you know, that not everyone does. So I've got my own little niche there as well. And I think that holds some weight. I think it really does. I hold some weight, I know that. Anyway, Leeds are staying up. Yeah, man, they are. Too right. When the fun stops, stop. I couldn't be doing streams of it. Yeah, exactly, mate. Who made the intro of Bridging the Gap? That was Wayne, mate. We spoke about it. We liaised with each other. But yeah, Wayne really enjoys that sort of stuff as well. Me and Wayne are very similar. But what I'll say, John, is when it comes to the visuals, and he's way better than me. I've always wrote music and songs and stuff, and always been creative, poetry and stuff like that. I've always been. Remember writing love letters to like girls at school and getting laughed at because they were way out of my league. But I didn't give a shit. What worst I can say is no, innit? Yeah, play it, Matty. Love to hear it, Matty. Play the new song 100%. We keep coming back because you have a great personality, mate. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Gary, mate. I love that. Would like to hear your song, Matty. It makes it better that you have said what it is about. I'd love to hear your new song, Matty. Matty, did you ever watch that Young Blind Kid with Autumn? Yeah, I did, mate. Honestly, cry my eyes out, Roger. Got me big time. It's not the be all and end all. Yeah, the TV doesn't give the game enough justice. Yeah, I agree. Totally off topic. Michael Bridges commenting on West Ham TV. Bit surprised, Bridgie. He likes Leeds. Yeah, he does, mate. He does. Got him in because he played for both, though, didn't he? So, hence the title Bridging the Gap, which I'm on Wayne's channel tomorrow at 9:30. So, if you want to hear it, I'll play it. It's totally off topic. There's 56 watching now. You don't have to stick around for it. It's fine. I will come back on after it's played just to say my goodbyes and whatever comments has come on. So I won't just play it. I won't play us out. I'll play it and then I'll come back. But this is literally a song I wrote for my dad. So yeah, let me know what you think. I haven't done a video for it. I've just got a picture. So you'll see. But yeah, here it is anyway.
You left when we were little, me and Jordan at the door. Empty chairs at birthdays, wondering what you left for. Mom held us through the thunder, and a man stepped in so kind. But I won't lie, Dad, it hurts sometimes when I needed you by my side. There were shadows in my story, but they made me who I am. And I'm proud of where I've come. I'm a stronger, better man. Don't you cry for the years we lost. We got here anyway. You gave us Jules, who's like another mom, and sisters that light my days. Georgia and Paige, the gifts you gave, they're the best I've ever known. So don't be sad for the time you missed. Dad, we're here, we're home. You're a big, strong Geordie, and I see it in your eyes. The years that weighed upon your heart, the guilt you try to hide. But Dad, it's alright, I promise. We got through it standing tall. You got us now, and we've got you. That's better than nothing at all. There were shadows in my story, but they made me who I am. I'm a fighter and I'm a father now, and I know you understand. And Dad, I'm proud of you. I know you loved us, and now we see it took some time, but here we are. You've always been a part of me. Don't you cry for the years we lost. We got here anyway. You gave us Jules, who's like another mom, and sisters that you gave, they're the best I've ever known. So don't be sad for the time you missed. Dad, we're here, we're home. I'm happy for the life you found and the love you built away. It brought us more than we could count, and it's brought us back today. We're men now, Dad, and you're still here. It's never too late, don't you fear. Don't you cry for the years we lost. We got here anyway. You gave us Jules, who's like another mom, and sisters that light my days. Georgia and Paige, the gifts you gave, they're the best I've ever known. So don't be sad for the time you missed. Dad, we're here, we're home. Yeah, Dad, we're here, we're home. It's not too late to love us now. We're home.
Catboy, still watching that back. Yeah, that's a song I wrote for my dad. So yeah, hope you liked it. The fact that I think 53 people were watching it and 53 people stayed watching it, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you so much for giving me somewhere I feel I can share that with you. I wrote it a few weeks ago, and I don't know why. I just wanted to play it today. I don't know why. But yeah, yeah. Thank you for watching. Fantastic song, mate. Cheers, Angela. Thank you. Thank you. Pictures are just memories you wish you could still have, but when, and we all wish our lives were better. Yeah, very true, mate. Very true. Cheers, Richard. It would be out of place on a boy band's album. Have you played it for your father on here to hear? Yeah, I sent him it. I haven't seen him the last couple of weeks. But we've got a WhatsApp group, and I put it into a WhatsApp group for my two sisters, my stepmom and my dad. And yeah, he loved it. He absolutely loved it. Yeah, oh yeah. Like Theo, yeah, I wish I could play football like you. Fair play. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Wouldn't be our players now. Thank you. Yeah, like I say, my dad's from Newcastle. He's a Geordie. I obviously moved to Leeds, met my mum, and then yeah, broke up, and yeah, didn't see him from being like 5 or 6 till being nearly 30. The joys of Facebook. Someone finding me on Facebook, and then yeah, so we don't live in each other's pockets, but he's in my life now. I had a bloke come into him. I called Dad as well, and he's raised me from being 8. He's been in my life now 21 years. As Tim, he took over the mantle. Great man. I'm a stepdad too to my stepdaughter. It takes some man to take on somebody else's kid and do a good job. And my stepdad, my dad Tim, he did brilliant. And it's nice to have my real dad Kevin in my life as well. So I'm lucky. I'm lucky, really. I lost my dad a few years ago. Parents had everything, and I'm a dad too. It's tough but rewarding. Too right, mate. Too right. Lee Naylor, you're a fucking nice lad, Matty. Love how real you are, pal. We'll definitely say hello for a pint one day in the peak. I'll go for Lee. I'd love that, mate. I'd love that. Yeah, don't be shy. Don't bite. I'll probably put my hand in my pocket and buy you a pint, actually. So don't. I can't afford it. I only buy Priestley a pint at every game just because I love him a bit. And he's one of them, he always just backs off at the right time. But no, I appreciate that, buddy. Thanks for those nice words, Lee. Class. It's a fucking nightmare being a dad sometimes, but you have to love him. You do, mate. You do, mate. It's hard work, but it is what it is. It's rewarding. My little lad Theo, who's 6, he's got Leeds United trials on Friday. I don't know if it will come from it. I'm playing it down a lot. It's open trials, don't get me wrong. I got lucky that I found out about it and applied for it and got him in. But yeah, he's got trials for Leeds United on Friday, so a bit of an experience for him. So we'll see how he does. But I'm absolutely loving his football at the minute. So proud of all my kids. But the fact that Theo's smashing football at the minute, it's making it a little bit sweeter. Yeah, 1 in a million. I am a stepdad with a twin, 20-year-old, one boy, one girl, and a biological dad to my almost 5-year-old daughter, classmate. Family's everything, pal. Family is everything. Thanks for sharing that, pal. Clem, great song, good song, Matty. I was a punk band for 3. I was in a punk band for 3 days in 1978, lol. Well, that came from. That's class for 3 days. 3 days. Oh, Mr. Whitesnake. Well, I finally made it. I hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well, Steve. And I'm just ending it, mate. An hour and 44, as you can see. Go back and watch it. I've just played a new song, Mr. Whitesnake. Go check it out. Literally about 5 minutes ago. I've just played one of my new songs, song for my dad. So go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it anyway. But yeah, I'm going to call it at that. Great win on Friday. Looking forward to Saturday. We'll see how it goes. Bridging the gap tomorrow. I am on Only Fools and SAFC for Wayne's channel at 9:30. If any Leeds fans, please come over if you're free at 9:30 tomorrow and give me a bit of support over there, because I'm going into the Lions Den, because as you can see, we've got 2 or 3 on here. Thank you so much for watching. All the Sunderland fans who are in here, too many to name, to be fair, but thanks for coming over and watching as always. Appreciate the banter, appreciate the good vibes. But any Leeds fans, don't mind coming over and helping me on enemy territory tomorrow. I'd appreciate it. Good luck for 3-0 for Friday. I bet you are humble. Honestly, Angela, I can't even tell you how proud I am. Played on Sunday, played for under-8s. He played a year up on Sunday, got man at match and an assist in a team he'd never met any kids to help them out, and now they want him to play on a Sunday for under-8s too. And got 5 minutes into the second quarter, and I was like, I was crying on sidelines. He didn't see, but just overdrawn with emotion watching my son play against kids 12 to 18 months older than him when he's only 6. That's some jumping age, that to still be sliding into tackles, winning ball. Oh, honestly, Angela, proud of all of them. But he's really good at my hobby. So I'm living my dreams through my son, I think. But also know when he's tired and when enough's enough. I've got to also let him see that, because at the minute he's doing something most days, but yeah, we'll see how he goes. If he's tired one day, I won't push him, but I'll spend what I need to spend, and I'll drive where I need to drive to give him every opportunity, to any of them, to do what they want. You know, Matt, you were doing yourself no harm. You just open to anyone. Dodgy, but respect you. Cheers, Richard, man, and thanks for being here since day one, man. Thank you. See you tomorrow, mate. You will do. I came last week. You did, Richard. Yeah, some of you come anyway. But please come over if you don't. Night, everyone. Cheers, Richard Hogan, as always. Thanks for the fantastic chat tonight, mate. Top Banana, thank you as always, mate. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Getting on what's uppy thing. Have a good one too, mate. I'll speak to you for a week, as I always do, Mr. Whitesnake. I hope you're well. I'll give you a message after. I want to see my little daughter get into football. She could choose England or Czech. Tough choice. Wow. It's a bit of a concoction, isn't it? England or Czech. Hopefully it's England, but yeah, what will be, will be. Away the fucking boys. Cheers, John Parr, for being involved, mate. Gary Oil, absolutely brilliant, mate. What talent. That gets the emotions going. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate those words, mate. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Please smash a like on the way out. Please subscribe if you're new here. Please hype the video after it's posted, if that's all right as well, if you don't mind. Could Harry mate, the side? Yeah, probably. It's a good dribbler, I think. Cool stream, Matty. Have a good one, mate. And yeah, thank you. Good night, everyone. Take care. I'll hopefully see you tomorrow over on Wayne's channel. Bye, everyone.